Greetings, everyone, and welcome. It is 3:22 Eastern Standard Time, 10:22 p.m. there in Moscow and in Kyiv. If you were just seeing this video but have not seen the other two that I've posted today, please go back and watch those first, because all of this is in order. We've had the Trump-Putin call. Video 1 was the results of that, and Putin immediately running to the camera. And in my opinion, Putin dominated that conversation, and that is very obvious to see. About a half hour later, we had the response of Donald Trump. I put that in the second video with his Truth Social statement, and that is about it. We dissected that, and we can see clearly where the United States stands under the Donald Trump administration in regard to Russia and in regard to Ukraine. Now, since then, we know that there have been phone conversations and phone calls, but we've been waiting to see what Zelenskyy would say, and he has just come out a few moments ago and made his statements, and I will now update you. So you'll have the whole picture. Whichever video you've missed, make sure you catch it. The bottom line is Zelenskyy says we will not withdraw from our land. Now, there's much more to it. You can see Putin standing in the background there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is getting extremely complex right now. Extremely complex. Now, we were expecting really the United States to back up, but you know, it's so interesting. Instead of talking about a 30-day ceasefire from Trump, and instead of talking about we're going to unload sanctions on you, we get quite the opposite. When the war is over, we will make money together. Russia's a great investment, and you'll be very, very rich. The same rhetoric continues, and it's absolutely disgusting. So let's jump in this. Let's look at it. I have all of Zelensky's statements. It was very short, very to the point, and here we go. First of all, he starts logically as a good president, a wartime president. He said, "The situation at this stage is very delicate, and I want to be careful in my statements regarding the current situation. Ukraine has a status. It is in the Constitution of our country. Everything is written there for how we are to proceed." Other statements that he made after he said, let's be delicate, was there's no mention of a 30-day ceasefire. We've been on the table for months, so there's going to be no ceasefire. The United States continues with the stance, as Trump stated, that Russia is ready to end the war, but we do not see any evidence of it. All we continue to see is the game and the extension and the war that is waging, and we know the summer offensive not only coming, but is already underway. Very difficult on the south and the north and the east, to be quite honest. Zelenskyy then stating, we will not abandon our NATO journey. Not going to happen. Russians are already in their media making fun of it and laughing about it. Zelenskyy goes on to say, Ukraine will not withdraw troops from our own territory, and we will not succumb to the Russian Federation's ultimatums. Probably the most two important statements that Russia will be hearing in how they respond. Zelenskyy saying, we will not withdraw troops from our own territory because that is an ultimatum from Russia, and we will not succumb to your ultimatums. He did say we are waiting for that proposal, whatever that proposal is that Russia's going to present. Putin said to Trump, we'll make a proposal, we'll send them something. Thirdly, we are considering the possibility of all teams meeting again. U.S., Ukraine, Russia, European countries, maybe in Switzerland, maybe somewhere out there. We're thinking about it. He has to say these things. Fourth, I asked Trump not to make any decisions about Ukraine without Ukraine. And for that one, I will give kudos to Donald Trump. He did not force or do the best of his ability to force a Ukrainian capitulation. What we saw today was basically Donald Trump washing his hands of Ukraine. There will be token statements. There will be maybe congressional sanctions, but I can give you some more validation on that on the next slide. But it's basically a washing of the hands. But thankfully, Zelenskyy said Trump didn't force our capitulation. Other fallout that has happened, we've already seen it from German cabinet and Merz. After Putin's conversation with Trump, EU countries agreed to increase sanctions pressure on Russia and to provide active support to Ukraine. That would be military support. So this is all just breaking news all afternoon. Now we have to see what the fallout will be. It's probably going to be quiet for the rest of the night. It's, of course, already getting late in the night there in Ukraine. Finally, this is Ushakov, presidential aide to Vladimir Putin. He was there in the meeting on the phone call. And this is what he said. He said, Trump said, I am for agreements. I'm not for sanctions, but they have already been prepared by the Senate. So it's just like I told you yesterday. Marco Rubio, in his statement to Lavrov, said, hey, if sanctions come your way, you know, it's not Trump, it's not me, it's not our White House administration, it's in the Congress, and we don't have any power to stop them. And today, now this is coming through Ushakov, but you can guarantee they're definitely going to put this quote out there, because there'll be a transcript. This was stated, I am for agreements, not sanctions, but they have already been prepared by the Senate. And what's logical about that is, if you go back and look at the Truth Social, Trump just wants to make money with Russia. They're going to be rich. Get the war over is what he said, and then we'll be rich. We'll make you rich. You got so many opportunities there in Russia. We're going to have big deal. You know, basically more of this stuff. Yeah, that's what we see. But let me take you here. This is real time right now. Shaheeds are already rolling in through Chernihiv, Sumy, Poltava, heading to Kyiv, Donetsk, now heading over towards Dnipropetrovsk region. They were launched from 3 sides. So this is the reality, folks. We stand with Ukraine. We stand with President Zelenskyy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting, sharing, liking, commenting. Please share these 3 videos. They're very important that we get the message out about the reality of what these presidents said today. You guys be blessed, and we'll be back at you as soon as something else happens.